Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. And that's the way it starts. The Slovak economy is on the verge of collapsing. So that is the first European country making this kind of statement. This statement was not made by a pipe layer or a police officer. No, it was made by the prime minister. So this article comes from Sputnik, and it is from today, the 28th of September 2022. This is the title: Slovak economy on verge of collapse as energy prices soar, Prime Minister says. That's the first one. And I'm pretty sure there are other ones that are there, but don't dare to say it yet. But we'll find out, right? Slovak Prime Minister Eduard Heger said on Wednesday that energy crisis and rising electricity prices could put the country's economy on the verge of collapse unless the European Union provides more financial help. Well, that's stupid. I'll tell you why. The financial help comes from the, let's say, European Union Central Bank, which, in the name of the European Union, or the leaders of the European Union, the guys that control it, they will borrow that money from other banks. I think they work with about 30 international banks. So they work with those banks. They will get the money in the name of the European Union. They will give the funds to Slovakia. Yeah. I thought I said Czechoslovakia. Slovakia, the Slovakian government will subsidize the energy, which means they will pay with the money, the loan that they got. It's a loan. They will pay the cap, the top. So they will say, okay, now you pay 5 times the amount you used to pay before these sanctions and the stupidity of our government, but we're going to save you. We, the government, put you in this situation, but we are going to solve the issue that we created. And they're not going to solve it, because by solving, meaning getting the money, and that will need to be paid back with interest. That means all that is going to go back to the Slovak people to pay it, and their children and grandchildren. So the Slovak people paying right now 3 times they paid before or more, and then they are supposed to pay more. Now this is going to be the loan. It's going to cover it, the loan. All right? So the banks are making the money. The energy industry will make the money because we're going to get the whole amount from here to here. But the people pay only this, and the loan is this. All right? But this loan, these guys are going to pay it in the future, extended. They're going to pay 3 times the amount, like a loan, with whatever you get interest on it. Let's say you got, I'm just saying, $10 billion. You put it for 30 years, you're going to have $30 billion. And who's going to pay for that? You and your children and your children's children. Okay? So this is the support, and they want funding. Instead of saying, wait a second, I have a broken pipe, water pipe. The water comes here, and instead of fixing that pipe, replacing it, shutting it off first, shut it off, and then replacing it, cut it, replace it, and then turning it back on and works. What I do, I get all my family here with towels, and they're gonna just, and squeegees and all that, squeeze, again, suck the water, and the water keeps pouring. And that's how we solve it. And while doing that, you don't do anything else. You're busy paying that, doing that. Now, who broke it? The sanctions. Not the guys who had the water running. The water would have been running through the pipe. Who broke the pipe? The sanctions. And the guys who broke the pipe are going to give you the towels now and get your time and your life stuck into doing this. So Heger said that money allocated from EU windfall tax, which is put on abnormally high profits of energy companies, should be equally distributed to Slovakia, should receive 1.5 billion euros. The Prime Minister also hopes for additional help from Brussels. That's additional help from Brussels. Go and talk with your bankers. That would provide Slovakia with 5 billion. So they would get 1.5 they think they would get, but they ask for 5 billion. They would pay, like, I don't know, as I said, let's say 15 billion in 30 years or so. Slovakia with 5 billion euros more from the regional development funds, to unused regional development funds to reduce energy bills for businesses. Money taken from outside. Otherwise, and I'm quoting, otherwise, Slovakian businesses will be closing and could actually collapse the whole economy. Well, there are some people celebrating that, I'm telling you that. Not me, but there are people over there who want all this to go this way. That's a good opportunity over there. Remember, when it's blood in the street, that's when you invest. So Heger was quoted by Financial Times as saying, adding that Slovak companies providing energy supplies would have to be nationalized. Brussels did not help. Nationalize. You know what it is? That means the government will take over, and government, people. There will be people. Not smarter than you, not smarter than I. People. But with interest. Not your interest or my interest. There will be, when they say there's going to be nationalized, it's like you think that there are some gurus over there that know everything, to stop the samsara cycle of reincarnation. Somehow they get you to Satori, enlightenment, and then you break the cycle. Really? There is no such a thing over there. They got over there with a lot of qualities. Okay? Let's leave it that way. So, if you guys worked in a company, you work for someone, you kind of knew, especially for the government, you kind of know how the promotion works and who's who, what's what, and what you need to do to get promoted. This has to be very, very brown, if you know what I mean. Anyway, so regardless, you just qualify for it, but then from there, the browner, the more chances you got. So here we have Slovakia asking for money, but that's not solving the issue. Obviously, Brussels will not help for now. And why? Because remember, keep in mind this, all these crises, you will see countries like Germany, they nationalized Uniper. Look at France, they nationalized their gas company. I can't remember the biggest one that they got. I can't remember the name of it. They nationalized the pipelines over there in Germany. They took over. This nationalization is a takeover by the government that could be controlled by people from outside. Remember, when you see nationalization, think about this. You will not own anything, but you will be happy. You will own everything. That's what the communists said. Guys, it's a state. It's yours. Yeah, but you control my life. It's mine, you control mine, and you take from me and give it to him to create the equity. So there's no rich, no poor. But how come the poor that doesn't work? I'm not equating poor with people that don't want to work. There are circumstances when you're poor for other temporarily or maybe indefinitely poor. But I'm talking about this. I'm not going to give to people who do not want to work, or they're not efficient. They make bad choices. Take from those, give to those, and then you balance it. That's equity. I don't like that equity. Okay? I would like the equity if I would be there, and I would be... I'm going to go to the mailbox and get my check from the government that takes the money from people that produce. I don't want to be. That's unjust. Equity, in this case, unjust. So this is what these guys... they want to take it from the corporations. They were going to go bankrupt by the policies made by the governments, sanctions. And then they say, we're going to save you. You have to nationalize it so you don't collapse. Who got me here? You. With your policies, bad policies. You should be going to jail. You bankrupted me. Because why? Why should I participate in the Ukraine thing? Let's say you're a business owner. Is that your job to be participating in Ukraine, or your job is to take care of your country? Well, the Russians will attack you. If we didn't do this, the Russians will be right here. I don't believe that. And I have the right not to believe it, because I give you another scenario, and I always give this scenario. No, it's not true. When that, in about 3 minutes and a half, Jesus Christ would have come and would come to solve everything, and everything was going to be okay, A-okay. So your scenario is worse than my scenario. Why should I take your scenario? You base it on evidence, patterns, on what? Yeah. On what exactly? Georgia? Abkhazia? Ossetia? I mean, I can look at your friends and they have more patterns, more recent and bigger problems created. Or you want to look in the Middle East or North Africa? Or even Yugoslavia, Serbia, 1999. I repeat all these things until the cows come home, okay? So, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.